Hello, and first of all, thank you for taking a minute to watch my video. I'm just noticing it. I need to get some better lighting because it looks like I've got a sunburn and a shiny forehead, etc. Anyhow, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you're either an ACN representative and you were curious, or you may be considering ACN. And you notice by the title, I'm sure that I posed the question, is ACN a pyramid? And I made a note that this is a subjective review by a former representative. So take it for whatever it's worth. It is not the gospel truth, but it is based upon my own personal experience and opinion. And since I don't have access to a teleprompter, I'm going to take the liberty of referring to my notes every now and then, although I just wrote an article for Ezine articles and it should be fresh in my mind. Anyhow, let's go. As to the question whether or not ACN is a pyramid or not, the answer to that question really depends on who you ask. If you ask Greg Provenzano or any one of the owners or a representative, the answer is going to be no. If you asked one of several MLM consumer advocates, they'll probably give you a fuzzy answer and would say something like, well, you know, it really depends on how you look at it. The answer is not black and white. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of my perspective on the situation. First of all, the company history. The company was founded in 1993 by 4 partners and started as a small reseller of discounted telephone service. And since then, over the course of 17 years, it's expanded into an extensive product line that includes a digital telephone service, which is really voice over internet. It includes high-speed internet, it includes cellular phones, it includes satellite TV, it includes home protection services, and I forgot one, but it'll come to me in a minute. Anyhow, and over the course of the years, they have grown to, they say they're doing about $500 million in business. They're presently in 21 countries. They're in North America, they are in Europe, they're in Asia, and they're in Pacific Asia. So it's a large company that's been around for 17 years. They make reference to the fact that they're the largest direct seller of telecommunications services. Well, let me shed some light on that. Direct implies that they own the products and the services that they sell. That's not quite the situation. Actually, they are authorized resellers of everything with the exception of the Iris 5 video phone, which they do own. But when it comes to voice over internet, they're an authorized reseller for, I think it's Clear. When it comes to cellular phones, they're authorized resellers for Verizon, AT&T, etc., virtually all of the suppliers. When it comes to satellite TV service, they're authorized resellers for DirecTV and the Dish Network. When it comes to home security systems, they're authorized reseller for ADT. And again, I've forgotten another one. It couldn't have been that important. Anyhow, you should know that you can purchase all of those products or services directly from Verizon or ADT or DirecTV or Dish, okay, for virtually the same price or less, and get direct service from the company as opposed to through a middleman, which, you know, if you add another party, there's an opportunity there to drop the ball for whatever that's worth. Okay, compensation plan. I don't pretend to understand all the different, you know, unilevel, bi-levels, matrices, overrides, underrides, multi-levels, all the different compensation plans offered by MLM companies. I think they're designed purposely that way because you have to be a rocket scientist to figure them out. And frankly, my philosophy has always been, if I believed in the company, if I believed in the management, I believed in the products that I could sell those and would be well compensated for it. So I'm not going to comment on the compensation plan. Okay, competition. whenever you're considering a business opportunity, you really have to look at the market. You know, discount telephone service has been around for 20 years. There's just an overabundance of competition in the telecommunications market. Okay, it's really oversaturated. In addition to companies like Fortune High Tech Marketing and 5 Links, I mean, ACN also has to contend with all the telephone companies that they resell for, which is really just direct competition for them. So it's a very tough market to deal in, and hence the margins, the profit margins, are very slim. Training and marketing. ACN's training philosophy is pretty much old school, left over from the 1980s, and what it basically consists of, though they refer to it as a system, is telling the new representatives to make a list of 200 or more of their friends, family, relatives, neighbors, anybody they do business with, and then make 3-way calls to those individuals with their sponsor and essentially ask them to do a favor. Do a favor for you, okay? In addition to that, you'd be encouraged to hold home meetings, hotel meetings, talk to anybody within 3 feet of you about your business, and in particular to build for the next big event, as it's called, which is generally a regional meeting or a national meeting where most of the heavy hitting recruiting goes on. I got to refer to my notes. Yeah, expenses. In addition to the $499 opportunity fee, you want to know what you can expect for your first, yearly expenses. In addition to the opportunity fee, you're going to have to pay to purchase a video phone. You'll have to pay for a replicated website. You'll have to pay for a monthly fee for access to your back room, to a back office to run your business, business cards, promotional materials, flyers, meeting room rentals, and also you have to pay for attendance at regional and national meetings. And all told, you can expect that your first year expenses are going to be in the neighborhood of $1,500 to as much as $2,500. Now, fact, okay, the chances of you making that much money to cover your expenses are very, very, very slim. Okay, and in fact, the industry studies and experts say that, as many as 95 to 97% of representatives are going to make little or nothing. And it's really only the top 3% that earn a decent or significantly above average income. And along those same lines, most MLMs, ACN, like most LMs, is a privately held company, and therefore they will not disclose what their average earnings is per representative by rank, nor will they disclose what their turnover is. And again, industry experts say the turnover is in the range of 90–95% plus. So you really have to evaluate the odds that have of being successful before you dive into something, whether it's ACN or any other company for that matter. One more reference here. Okay, back to whether or not it's a pyramid or not. Okay, if you look at it from a strictly legal standpoint, no, it's not. In terms of current MLM law and most attorney generals. However, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, ACN is walking a very, very fine line, and for that reason they retain an army of former attorney generals. I think it's 5 or 6. The reason being to keep them from crossing that fine line, and also to fend off lawsuits or potential lawsuits. There was a proposed law that would have required full disclosure, like if you're purchasing a stock, the broker has to provide you with a prospectus. Consumer advocates have been urging for that kind of a change in the law for years, but it never has been successful yet. Anyhow, the bottom line is this. ACN is a perfectly legitimate company. It's not considered a pyramid. However, I would encourage you not necessarily to listen to me or what I've said in this video, but to do your own due diligence, draw your own conclusions prior to joining. Okay? Hope this has been of some help to you. Hope you have a great day. Over and out for now. Bye.